I'd like to say I would do the things Maya does. I don't know if I actually would, but let's stick with, yeah, I would do it.
So hello,
Hi.
So lovely to meet you. I'm Carla from Cineworld Cinemas. We can't wait to bring this film to the big screen.
Do you know what today is?
Today is the third day of our 3-day road trip across the country.
Or our 5-year anniversary. What a cool little town. I actually like this so much better than a hotel. I bet the people who live here are really happy.
Tough crowd, right?
So I'll start off by being very honest. I normally don't do horror. I'm a bit of a scaredy cat, and whenever I see people get hurt, I like physically flinch and it hurts me a little bit. But I love this movie. I can't wait for chapter 2. I cried near the end. I wasn't expecting the reaction that I did. What's your relationship with horror like?
Well, can I first say, that is exactly what I love hearing. To me, this is a film that, yes, it is absolutely scary, and I hope it scares people, but I want people who are typically, more trepidatious to touch horror to feel like this is not just like a jump scary, like cheap scare kind of film. Like this is something that has like some, real meat to it. I'm a big horror fan though. So when I was a kid, I kind of made it my mission to watch every horror film on Blockbuster when it was still a thing. And I did complete that by grade 9.
Oh, wow.
So I love horror.
You must have been really excited to be part of this project. I do feel like with horror films, there's always that notion that you're watching it and you're kind of judging a little bit and going like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. And oh, they shouldn't have done that. With your character, without giving too much of the story away, were there moments where like you in real life would have been like, oh, that was a bit silly. Like, if you felt a bit threatened and a bit paranoid, are you more the kind of person who would do what she did and kind of ignore it and kind of go, oh, it's probably all in my head? Or would you go hide and go more to that area?
Totally. So when I got the script, it was one big script and we were breaking it up into parts. And they kind of were like, this is the bones of the story, but we want a partner to come in and help us work it. So what my biggest thing when I came in was like, I want to make sure people aren't screaming at the screen like, why is she doing that? She's so stupid. So I came in with Rennie, our director, Harlan, and Courtney, our producer, and we rewrote so many scenes to make it feel like stuff that somebody would actually do in the circumstances. Mm-hmm. I'd like to say I would do the things Maya does. I don't know if I actually would, but let's stick with, yeah, I would do it.
Okay,
for
great.
Sure. I'm brave.
Totally.
Yeah.
I felt like music was a really big part of it. There were so many scenes where I just felt so uncomfortable because the music was just like grinding at me. And even like the songs that were sort of part of it, like what you're playing on the piano, they felt like really well chosen. Did you take any part in that? And like, did you have to learn the song that you played on the piano? Like how was that process?
It was actually so funny. So piano was written into the script before I came on and they were like, do you play? And I was like, I used to. So they gave me a list of 5 songs. Like if any of these spark to you. And when I was a kid, my mother used to play me Moonlight Sonata every night, like on the piano. Mm-hmm. So that felt immediately like I have a connection to it. And then I was like, I'd love to just freshen up. And so I took classes in Slovakia in someone's apartment and it was the coolest experience of my life. Like it was one of my favorite parts of shooting the film was like going to this amazing piano teacher's apartment in Slovakia and like relearning piano. That was really fun. And then the music, we're actually currently mixing sound right now for movie 2 here. So I've been doing that while I've been here.
Okay.
I mean, it's such an intricate and delicate process. And we've got an amazing composer, Justin, who is just so on it. And he's composing pretty much all of the music himself. And so it feels like it's very specific to each moment, which I think is why it's so special.
And obviously we're a cinema chain, so we can't not ask the question, why do you think this is the kind of film that really needs to be seen in a cinema environment?
I think sound is a big piece of that. I think surround sound and, being able to hear a pin drop in a movie theater, it's such an immersive experience when you're in a theater. So I think probably just the experience alone of how intense the sound can be. And even when like the doors being axed down, like seeing that on a big screen is so much more impactful than seeing it on a tiny screen in your home.
And then final question to you personally, what is your absolute favorite thing about going to the movie theater, to the cinema and like experiencing that?
It's funny. I think this is like a weird answer, but it feels really nostalgic to me. I used to go every week when I was a kid with my family. I think that's kind of where my love of cinema began. So it just feels like such a special experience. It feels like you're really giving the movie like time and grace to experience it versus just turning it on in your living room. It's like it's a real period of time that you're focusing on this one piece of art.
That's amazing. That's all we have time for. So that's
great.
Great.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
'Cause you're here.